Good morning, students. In the last class, we started chapter 2, What is Democracy and Why Democracy? We studied that the simplest definition of democracy is not adequate and it raises a lot of questions. Then we studied about Pakistan, in which we saw that holding election is not just important, but it is equally important that the final decision-making power must rest with those who are chosen by the people in an election. And then we got the first feature of democracy, that is, in a democracy, the final decision-making power must rest with those elected by the people. Today we will study about two countries. So the first country that we have to study about is China. In China, elections are held regularly after every 5 years for electing the country's parliament. The country's parliament is called National People's Congress. The National People's Congress has the power to appoint the president of the country. Now students, this NPC is the highest organ of the state power in China, and it has the power to appoint the president of the country. It has nearly 3,000 members elected from all over China, and some members are elected by the army. In China, before contesting elections, a candidate needs the approval of the Chinese Communist Party. Chinese Communist Party is the second largest political party in the world. So this party rules in China, and if anybody wants to contest election in China, then they have to take permission from the Chinese Communist Party. In 2002-03, only those who are members of the Chinese Communist Party or 8 smaller parties allied to it, that is connected to it, were allowed to contest elections. And the government is always formed by Communist Party. Students, China is a communist state, that is, it is administered and governed by a single communist party. What is a communist state? We have already studied in chapter 1. So, from these information, we can clearly see that China is not a democratic country. Why? Because people in China are not allowed to contest elections. They have to take permission from the CPC, that is Chinese Communist Party, if they want to contest election. And only those who are the members of Chinese Communist Party or 8 other smaller parties allied to it were allowed to contest election in 2002-03. Now let us study about another country, that is Mexico. Since its independence in 1930, Mexico holds elections after every 6 years to elect its president. So students, in China, elections are regularly held after every 5 years for electing country's parliament, and here elections are held after every 6 years. The country has never been under a military or dictator's rule, but until 2000, every election was won by the same party called PRI, that is Institutional Revolutionary Party. Now, unlike China, opposition parties did contest elections. Students, in China, nobody was allowed to contest elections. If they had to, then they were supposed to take permission from the Chinese Communist Party. But in Mexico, the oppositional parties were allowed to contest election. But then they never managed to win. Why? Because the PRI used some dirty tricks to win elections. Now let us see what dirty tricks PRI use. Number 1. all those who were employed in government offices had to attend its party meetings. So the government officials had to attend its party meeting. This is in a way forcing somebody. So this is not allowed. Number 2, teachers of government schools used to force the parents to vote for the PRI. This is also one of the dirty trick that PRI used. Number 3, media largely opposed the activities of the opposition political parties except to criticize them. So media just showed the good works of PRI and the opposition political parties were criticized by media. Number 4, sometimes the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in the last minute, and that made very difficult for the people to cast their vote. I hope you all know what is a polling booth. Polling booths refers to are those places where you go to cast your vote. So last minute the polling booths were shifted from one place to another. And number 5, the PRI spent a large sum of money in the campaign for its candidates. So students, from the above examples, we can conclude that even though in these countries elections are being held, still we cannot call it a democratic government. Why? Because in China, elections do not offer the people any serious choice, as everybody is not allowed to contest elections. In China, if somebody have to contest election, then they have to take permission from the Chinese Communist Party. So people don't have any serious choice. And in Mexican example, people seemed to have choice as opposition parties did contest elections. But that was of no use. In practice, people had no choice as there was no way the PRI could be defeated. We studied that PRI used different dirty tricks to win elections. So even though opposition parties did contest elections, that was of no use. So clearly these are not fair elections. We can thus add a second feature to our understanding of democracy. That is, a democracy must be based on free and fair elections, where those currently in power have a clear chance of losing. This means that holding election of any kind is not sufficient. China was also holding election, Mexico was also holding election, but that is not sufficient. The elections must offer proper choices to people, and it should be possible for them, for the people, to use these choices. So that's all for today's class, students. So today we studied about China and Mexico. China is a communist state and it is ruled by a single party, that is Chinese Communist Party. And even though China has elections, we cannot call China a democratic government because nobody is allowed to contest elections there. People don't have any choices. And Mexico, until 2000, all the elections were won by the same party, that is PRI, Institutional Revolutionary Party. Unlike China, in Mexico, opposition parties were there. They were allowed to contest elections, but since PRI used so many dirty tricks in elections, they always won. So, then we got the second feature of democracy. That is, in democracy, free and fair elections must be there, where those currently in power must have a clear chance of losing. So now students, we have studied 2 features of democracy. Now in the next class, we will study another 2 features of democracy. Here are a few questions for your assignment. You will write the answers in your notebook. That's all for today's class. Thank you, students.